What's up guys, it's Drac and this is my unboxing and review of the Nerf Battlescout. This is Open Me, and I want to talk for just a quick second about why this is in this kind of packaging. So this is Amazon's frustration-free packaging, which is basically just like an Amazon box that happens to hold things as compactly as it possibly can for efficient shipping. And the reason that mine is in frustration-free packaging is because I purchased this one off Amazon. And the reason that I purchased it off Amazon in frustration-free packaging is that it was about half price. The MSRP on this blaster is $70 United States dollars, and that is frankly criminal for something like this. It's just insane how expensive that is for what amounts to being a Nerf Cam 2.0. Now, of course, this one is shooting in HD, so I am willing to give it the benefit of the doubt, but this is by far and above one of my least exciting blasters that just so happens to be insanely expensive. And it's all because of this. This is a harmonica-style clip, not a magazine, a clip for Nerf darts, and it's firing out of the Battlescout, which could otherwise be a really cool pump action springer. Now I understand that not everything can be the same, but like in a world where we get a Recon Mark II, I want to know where my Modulus Alpha Trooper is, because it's starting to get ridiculous, and I hope this isn't it. But you load the darts into the clipazine here, and we're going to insert it into this blaster, which is a pump action springer, and it is a Modulus blaster. So thank goodness it's going to have a lot of the attachments that we're otherwise missing in a lot of our Nerf lines recently. So if we come in here and relinquish it from its frustration-free packaging, which still has plenty of frustration built in my opinion, you can see it's got a very comfortable angled foregrip, which I like. It's got a reasonable trigger pull. It does have that skeletonized Modulus handle, except for someone with hands my size, this back strapping digs in to the meatus of my hand, and it's actually just pretty uncomfortable. We've got 2 bandolier clips, which isn't bad, and then we've got the port here that holds the harmonica clip, and that's kind of ridiculous. There is one tactical rail, a stock attachment point, and an in-strike barrel attachment point, so I am glad to see those things living on. And then the reason that this is so much more expensive than it needs to be is because of this. This is a 720p HD video camera, takes photos, takes videos, and it does both of those things with this button up top. You fit in an SD card in here. Now, unlike the Nerf Cam, this does not come with an SD card, so you're going to have to find a standardized SD card or a micro SD with an adapter to fit into here. It's got a little rubber flap. Now, one cool thing about this is once you've installed the batteries, it is an isolated camera, so you could use this as a video camera, right? Like you could just point and shoot with it, even though it has no real viewfinder, or you could attach it to any blaster that you so wanted. This is, of course, a tightening, I guess, gasket. That might not be the right word, where you can get these things to lock down. You can see it's applying pressure to my thumb there, and that's just because as you're running around with a blaster that has a floppy camera on top, the last thing that you want to happen is that, A, for your footage, and then B, wouldn't it be terrible if it just slid off? So it does have a locking mechanism. There was a lot of thought put into how to make this system less bad, but in all honesty, the true solution is don't put cameras on Nerf blasters. Like, Hasbro can't design and mass manufacture a camera better than any other company, so it makes so much more sense to buy a knockoff GoPro for around the same price that shoots 1080p at 60 FPS, and then just build something to lock it onto your camera. I used to tape a Coolpix into the 35 round drum on my Raider, and it got better footage than this camera is going to get. That said, let's talk about the blaster first, then we'll get some footage with this, and I'll do the entire camera review using the audio from this camera. So we'll do that second, but the Battlescout itself is a pump action springer, which could be great, except it's got this very strange loading mechanism that I'm already inserting wrong. So this should go, nope, these notches indicate that it has to go in this way. I think it feeds left to right. Then we've got an arrow here and arrows here saying line me up like this, and I'm pretty sure, never look down the barrel, but that snaps forward, and when you prime forward it actually engages. So we should be good to fire. getting sub-elite performance, which is wild. It should be getting at least elite performance. Let's see if we have slam fire. We definitely do not. And then coming forward, we ratchet again. And I've engaged, whoa, some sort of lock, and it wouldn't pull the trigger. So yeah, I mean, ranges of about 45 feet, just barely breaking that fence. Certainly nothing to write home about. Angled foregrip is pretty good. Handle is pretty bad. Blaster overall is larger than it needs to be, and performance is subpar. So if you haven't figured out right now that I'm not a big believer in the Battlescout, that's because the base blaster itself just isn't that good. There are no controls for the camera itself built onto the blaster, which was one of the neat things about the Nerf cam. Is to start recording, all you had to do was click and you were good to go. Now, without slam fire, it's not a very good pump action springer, and without performance, it's also not a very good pump action springer. That was a pretty decent shot, I will give it that, but overall, I don't like this style of magazine. Everything that you have from Nerf is useless with this blaster. You certainly can't use any of your bespoke gear designed to hold clipazines. You can't use anything that you have, like a 12-rounder or a 10-rounder or a drum that you're fond of, and even if you could, it's another weird side-loading thing. I really hate that the overall, not even weight profile, because this doesn't weigh a lot, but your visual profile changes as you move through, and there's no larger capacity. So this is essentially a 10-shot blaster that might as well have a built-in clip. I'm sure you could buy more of these, but it's less efficient. It's very easy to skip rounds if you forget and prime through it. And overall, it's just not something that I would ever want to use in a war, I guess. It's awkward. It's a low capacity blaster. Like, I would rather use the Dart Tag Quick 16 over this because A, you can't lose the clip because it's built in, and then B, it has higher capacity, and then C, it's actually like an on par springer with just much more comfortable ergonomics. So as far as the Battlescout itself, because these are Modulus blasters and they'll undoubtedly be sold independently of their accessories on Amazon, don't buy this. This is not a very good blaster, although I am thrilled to see the lime green coming back because I kind of liked the lime green. It is hideous, but it grew on me. So this is a huge don't buy. The clip system, in my mind, is just a complete and abject failure. The overall comfort and utility of this blaster is not so much. It might make for cool integrations in the future, but that's all I can really hope for. Let's talk about the camera. Oh no. Alrighty, so I actually just had to pull everything out of my DSLR. It takes 4 AA batteries to power the camera, and then here's my SD card with adapter up and inside here. So let's completely loosen or unlock this camera. Let's snap it on here, and we'll tighten it. So we'll twist this all the way, and it is now in the locked position. Ironically, even in the locked position, there is some wobble here, and I'm not sure how terribly secure that is. It's not bad. It's definitely got a bumper built in so that it's designed to lock into this tactical rail specifically, and that's not the end of the world. So let's flip it into video mode because that's what matters. Nobody's using this as a camera, and we have an indicator light telling us that it is on, and now let's start recording. So this light tells us that, I guess in theory, we are now recording data. So from here.
Alrighty guys, so the truth is, I don't even know if I'm recording or not right now. This is the 5th time I have tried to record some Battlescout footage with the Battlescout's camera for you. And the reason that it's the 5th time is because I keep having to take the SD card out and check with its rather strange file management system as to whether or not it was compatible with my SD card. In addition to that, it's got very poor user interface. It is only recording when it is both on the record and the play button is in fact lit up. Now, I know that sounds silly if you already know that, but I can promise you that it took a few iterations just to figure that out. But this is kind of a demonstration of walking around and reloading the Battlescout. This is the Battlescout moving in and out of different lighting situations, like so. And then this is, of course, what really matters. This is running towards a target with your Battlescout. This is kind of how it wobbles when it's stationary. And then the most important thing to know about a camera that's mounted to your blaster, is that this is the footage that you're going to be getting 95% of the time. Because we usually hold gun-type toys facing downwards, whether we are carrying them like this or whether we are running with them like this, and it's only when we are actually engaging targets that they come up to bear, like so. But that's my review of the Battlescout. I can't recommend this blaster for anybody. If you disagree, let me know in the comment section below.